consistency. So I have to find some way to keep up my training over the next few weeks, but I'll definitely be running again when I'm in Montreal, and I'm still on schedule to do the marathon again.
Awesome. Completing it is the only objective.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, let's go, guys. We are going to go live. Let me turn the music off. Hello, everybody. We are live. Tetsu
Hi,
and
everyone.
Joey.
Hi, everyone.
To another Facebook Live with Joey, Tetsu, and this week again we have two special guests, George and the one and only Benny Lewis, which is here with us. So we're very happy that we have him with him. And Benny is going to be coming to Montreal again for Langfest for a third consecutive year.
Mm-hmm.
He believed in us right from the beginning, and we're very grateful that he decided to come in and spend a few days with us again. So thank you very much for that, Benny. I know you've had a busy year since we last saw each other. You've been keeping busy doing events, writing, and many things. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you've been up to and what's coming up for Benny.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of in a way, the weirdness around my current video is demonstrating the kind of things that I've been up to. And it's related to the talk that I'm going to be giving in Montreal in just over a month. So essentially, I love to merge language learning with other things. And this has generally been the theme of my talks that I've given at all language learning events, rather than saying, here's how you learn a language, because I'm preaching to the choir. Everybody in the audience is usually quite skilled at language learning, or if they're not, someone else is going to give them good advice. So I want to give it, how do we merge language learning with something else? So my background is in electronic engineering, and the last year, I have been experimenting a lot with live video. So as you can see, I'm talking to you today from the International Space Station, apparently. Not really. This is a green screen behind me. Look, what's this?
Oh wow, you're showing us all the back works.
Yeah, so that's green screen, and of course you can see the live captions underneath me. And for me, this has been the most fascinating thing. Is I want to see how I can use this technology and combine it with language learning, and that's been what's kept me busy for most of the last year.
Cool.
We did. I did see your talk in at the Polyglot conference in November or end of October. Is this going to be something in a continuation along the same lines that you're going to be talking
not
to us?
Quite. So last at the Polyglot conference, I gave a talk on the data science of language learning. So last year, something I was very fascinated about was data science. And data science is a very interesting field where you take all of the information you can and you compile beautiful graphics from it, which let you make decisions based on that. So I wanted to get all of the information I could about where languages are spoken, how they're learned, and see if in these grand scales of a lot of people showing us their language situation, if we can decide some information from that or infer information from that. And so that's just something that really fascinated me. And I'm lucky that I have been able to learn more about that just as a part of the work that I do. Because for instance, I have a lot of people on my email list, and rather than sending the exact same email to everybody, I actually send different emails depending on what language they're learning and even what level of the language they might be at, and even more beyond that, like which country are they in? They might like this particular aspect of learning languages. So that way, instead of everybody getting the same email, people get emails that are very specific to them, and that's based on the data that I have around them. And I like to improve their experience that way. So it's something that inspired me a lot. And of course, that was my attempt to share my passion for data science and combine it with language learning. And that's what I did last year. So this year I'll be sharing my passion for live video and how that is something I see as a real tool for helping people to learn languages, something that, for instance, Skype teachers could potentially use, or that could come into the classroom. And I'm really excited to show you guys some of the stuff that I've been realizing in my experimentations.
Nice. Well, I'm going to just pause you for just a second so that we could say hi to all the folks that are watching this
Sure.
live right now. We have Trisha, we have our very own Nicola, we have folks on YouTube, we have Mr. Johnson, we have Carol Todd. We're going to be seeing her at the event today, this year. So quite a few folks taking your discussion with us today, Benny.
Yeah, hey everybody, good to see you all. Make sure to pass along any of your questions and we'll all be happy to take them.
Definitely. So we were saying the talk that will be somewhat in a different genre, something more forward-looking in terms of how you want to apply live videos for the for teaching, I guess, classroom environment. That's I think is the gist of what you're gonna talk about. Can you give us some snippets, some little sneak previews?
Yeah, so like for instance, right now you can see that even though I'm talking to you, I can change this background behind me.
Yeah.
And I can like play around with it. And what that means is this video suddenly becomes interactive. So I can do things to really like give you guys an impression that things are kind of like an edited video, you know? So for instance, right now, like in the middle of this live stream, something I can do very quickly is if I switch here, you won't see my camera, but I can very quickly switch this up here and suddenly I should be upside down. And so this is something I'm doing right now in the middle of the stream. So what I see this is, yeah,
this is quite intense.
Then I press a button and I'm back to the way I was. So what I see this as useful is I've been getting a lot of inspiration, believe it or not, from Twitch. If you guys know the website Twitch, this is a website people use
for gaming
to
right?
watch people stream games.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been testing it out and I've been streaming myself playing games. And I don't see my future as being a famous gaming streamer. What I'm doing on that site is I'm seeing the next generation, like my generation. I'm used to watching videos of people talking like we're currently talking. It's you call these the talking head videos. Whereas I feel like the next generation, they don't have the patience for that. They're more used to a lot more visual stimulation in the likes of Twitch games. So instead of saying, oh, these young whippersnappers, the next generation, back in my day, it was much better. Instead of like deciding my way is better, I want to adapt and I want to help the next generation and understand what they expect when it comes to entertainment and then combine that with learning. So I've learned all of these things, like the green screen that you can use while you're live, the software that goes along with that, and even things like the live subtitles, which by the way, I think you guys might see do you see the link right here?
It's actually quite amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
so if you type this link into a different tab, anyone watching this, type this link into a different tab, and you're going to see something really interesting. This is using Microsoft Bing's translation engine, and these subtitles, which are okay, they're not perfect because they're being made automatically live. They're actually translated to, I think, maybe 40 or 50 languages, whichever ones are handled by Bing, all live. So if somebody has difficulty understanding me as I'm speaking in English, they can actually see these same subtitles in French or in German. Now, of course, it's not going to be wonderful because it's an automatic translation of an automatically created caption. So there'll be lots of mistakes. but it's early stages. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. I want to show people the potential. So even though right now, these captions are going to make mistakes and the translations are definitely going to make mistakes, it shows us the kind of things that we can start to do.
Right.
Like we could start to have lessons with people who aren't actually even teachers. They're just native speakers who we're practicing with. And instead of having to add the extra layer of us reading scripts or something, we can see what they're saying as close as it can be live underneath them. And that's something that we do with television. Like I learned a lot of Spanish by watching shows like Los Simpson, and I had the subtitles underneath. And whenever I watched The Simpsons, because I had seen the episode in English already, I knew what they were saying, but the subtitles helped me link the Spanish words to the written form that I needed to make that adjustment. And so I see stuff like this as potential for that. And I'm going to be demonstrating multiple things that I see specifically, not for, necessarily playing games online, but all the stuff I've learned from these completely different industries and how I see that is going to augment people's ability to learn other languages.
Very smart. I mean, I think it's a great time to jump into this area while it's still young. You get to be one of the pioneers to really shape this technology for the language industry, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of where I feel my talents as far as being a polyglot go. I feel like so many people who are going to be speaking at this event, when it comes to actual language skills, I have to take off my hat to so many of them in terms of the precision in their ability to use other languages, in terms of the number of languages, in terms of the passion for learning languages. And I always tell people, for me, the language has always been a tool for me to talk to other people. And so that's kind of, I use languages as bridges. And that's where my passion lies. And the fact that I've got a big background in technology is where I want to make my difference in the world. And hopefully I'll be able to convince people of a lot of future ways they could improve their language learning skills.
Nice. We're getting comments from folks trying to check out the codes. I mean, I have Nicolas saying that it requires a 5-letter code. Do you actually have 5 letters in there? Or is that just cut off because of the screen?
Oh yeah, okay. It's IJGCK.
There's a K at the end. No. I think it's showing. It was.
Let me just see if there's like a password or something, so I can bring it up myself. Translate /IJGCK. Because yeah, it's fun to show this to you guys. Okay, join conversation. Press enter.
Are you trying to put that up on your screen behind you?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I can see. All right. Yeah. So let me show you guys through a screen capture, because I can do that live, of course. So screen capture this conversation. All right. So you guys see this here. This is the same as this here on this side is the same as what's underneath me, but I can click the gear icon and where's the option to change? Oh no, I have to select the language as I go in. I selected English, leave the site. Yeah, here we go. Your language. I know you can't see this. I just want to change it very quickly. French. Conversation code IJGCK. Enter. Okay, so this should be a bit more interesting. There we go. So I don't know if you guys can make this out. It's a little small in my screen, but you could just about see there's French coming through here. And that's just because I selected French. So are people in the comments saying this is working for them, or are they running into problems?
I don't see any comments.
Yeah. So are you guys seeing what I'm seeing right now?
We are. It is a bit small.
Yeah, let me see if I
can. For my middle-aged eyes.
I want to do it a little bit better. I just think this is cool. Okay, see that?
Yeah.
So the translation it gave for my middle-aged eyes is...
Oui, mes yeux d'âge moyen. Okay, cool.
No, it's not perfect, but, you know. So this is just to give you guys an idea. It's like these are just one random thing that I happen to have come across in my experiments that I see a lot of potential for. And it's not perfect. There's a lot of problems with the baseline of tools that I'm finding, but this is why I want to show people the potential of the classroom of the future, you know?
Well, the fact that they exist is already a
exactly.
very good thing. It can be very useful when you're learning a language. I mean, to have access to those tools.
None of this starts perfect. I mean, YouTube was, when it started, was far from perfect, and look at where we are now. So definitely, it's a good time to jump in. And I'm getting comments from the folks. Nicolas saying it works. So it does work. The link is translate.it. Is that how it is?
Yeah, translate.it/IJGCK. And this is like a link that is created specifically for this one conversation, and then that link won't work if people are watching this after the live video. And actually, what this is, so I saw this tool demonstrated live at a conference, and one thing that's so interesting about it is my microphone is picking up the words I'm saying, and it knows it's in English. But if you use a particular app with this, you can change the receiving language to be a different one, such as Italian. And let's say I don't understand Italian, and I'm talking to an audience in Italy, and our budget is too small, so we can't hire an interpreter. Well, in that case, I would say, are there any questions? And then the Italian person would raise his hand, and he would have the app, and he'd like select Italian, and he would start speaking Italian. And suddenly, I would actually see on my screen what he's saying in English. Nice. So, you know, there's that aspect to it that I think it's not necessarily language learning related. That's more skipping the language learning process. And I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of using technology to replace language learning. I'm more interested in seeing what its potential is to help us augment our language learning. But stuff like that means that at least it helps international audiences to communicate. And I think that we can use it as a tool to make that initial part of language learning a little bit easier.
Well, exactly. we do see a lot of these new apps and little gadgets, you know, in-ear real-time translation. Google, in fact, I think has something like that, right? Was it with the Pixel?
Yeah, the new earbuds.
There you go. And we will have a speaker. His name is Ronnie Gao this year, and he's going to be talking about artificial intelligence and whether it's going to eliminate the need for translators and whatnot. So there's some
I'm looking forward to that, definitely. Whenever people ask the question, like, why should I even learn the language? Because I have Google Translate. The problem is, when something I always come back to is essentially the AI isn't powerful enough yet. It can do very basic things. And maybe we will reach the day when you can replace it. But the problem is, when we reach that day, AI will effectively be the same level as human intelligence, and you could replace every job. You replace a teacher, a doctor. So like it's a very different philosophical question. It's not just about translation. It's when you can replace computers with humans, because you do need a human to understand a lot of context. But I'm sure the other speaker will address that. I look forward to it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's a matter of time. Definitely will become very, very good over time. And this is not just languages. I mean, robots are replacing humans in many areas, and even surgery. So we've got robots doing surgeries. So I mean, definitely. But it's a human decision, human, I think, assessment of things. That's going to be very, very difficult. But I'm sure artificial intelligence will push the limits as we move along.
Yeah, and I see most of these things as showing us what our potential can be, and I want to see how I can bring it into language learning rather than having it replace the need for language learning.
So when are you coming to this part of the world, Benny? When are you going to be coming to Montreal? Are you coming in early this year? Or are you going to be able to do the tours and things of the sort?
I was very jealous last year when I was following social media updates, and I saw all the fun everybody was having the days before the event. And I was thinking, oh man, I should have gone in early, because I arrived maybe the day before it started. So I have learned from my lesson, and this time I will be in several days early. And I want to see which of the polyglots I can find, and maybe do some collaboration videos with them, and join you guys in some of the tours, and just enjoy Montreal, because it's such a wonderful city. Last time I was there, I was essentially just there for the most intensive period of the event. And I want to be able to spend more time and enjoy Montreal and see some old friends from there. So I should be there about a whole week this time.
Fantastic.
That's very good. We're looking forward. So August 21st to 26th is when it's going to be happening. Benny's going to be around, so try to get here soon. You might have the chance to bump into him and
maybe
join him on a couple of tours.
Maybe he'll be our tour guide.
You told us you were going to Europe also. You're gonna have a busy month.
I have a very busy month. So my wife Lauren and two of her friends, they want to explore a little bit of Europe, and many of the cities I've been to already, but I kind of want to do little updates about all of the different aspects of the languages in those cities. And I've been having a lot of fun. I mean, since I like experimenting with videos, I've been having a lot of fun with Instagram stories, and then this new thing they did, IGTV, where you have like vertical videos. And so I see this as a chance to maybe I'll share a little bit of each one of these cities, even though we'll be in tourist mode. It won't be quite the same as my usual long-term language learning experiences. But I do speak the languages of most of the places I'm going to, so I'll be able to share that with people. So definitely follow me on Instagram to see how that's going to be going over the next few weeks. And I'm just Irish Polyglot or Language Hacking. I have two different ones. And then after that, just back in New York until I'm in Montreal.
Have you guys had a scorcher of a week like we have? Really, really hot?
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy here. It's I went out yesterday and like I was already completely covered in sweat just after a few minutes. The humidity combined with the heat in New York is insane. You have to hide in air conditioning, which for me, from Ireland, it's just unheard of. Like, you just never have that level of heat. Although I know Ireland's going through a little bit of a heat wave these days too.
Oh, guys, I'm in Taiwan, so I have no sympathy for you guys at all.
Yeah. I remember Taiwan. I remember the humidity. You have like real monsoon season and everything.
Right.
So
yeah,
you make us feel a lot more appreciative for our mild weather.
There you go.
So George hasn't been talking a lot, but he's going to be doing the language Olympiads or something like that. Where are you doing that this year, George?
It's a linguistics Olympiad.
Linguistics Olympiads.
It's different. So this year it's going to be in Prague. Last year it was in Dublin, but I'm doing it again this year, and yeah, I'm really, really excited. It's going to be at the end of July for about a week, and we'll see how it goes.
You have people from all around the world that are going there?
Sorry?
You have people from all around the world that are going there for the linguistic Olympiads?
Yeah, around 40 countries. So, and
that's cool.
And I think some of them are gonna come back. Among those that I met last year, I'm gonna see them again this year, because a lot of them are going back.
You
probably have some interesting stories to tell us when you get back too.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I think my interview is going to be when I get back, so it'll be like fresh from when I get out of the plane. So I have so many things to tell you guys.
Perfect.
Cool. So we have a few minutes left. I just want to let everybody know if you want to see Benny and you're thinking of coming to Montreal, you haven't registered yet, you can use the Benny code. Is that it? BENNY,
Yeah,
Tetsu?
that's it.
To save on the registration. I think it's 15%. You know, it's August 21st to 26th. A couple of weeks left. You still have time. Until then, you know, let's just try to enjoy the beautiful season. Summer is very short in North America. And when it's summer, well, you know, you travel, you do a lot of things. Make the most of every moment. Try to challenge yourself to push the limit a little bit on your languages. Langfest is going to have a language challenge coming up that we're going to be announcing in a couple of weeks. It's going to be running from July 21st all the way through to August 20th, the day before the Langfest, which should put everybody in perfect form for the event. And we'll be able to bring it all together, I guess, when we have all these wonderful people coming to us to see us in Montreal. So thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us, Benny. We're very, very grateful that you're coming for a third year. It's very generous of you to always have made a place for us. And thanks a lot. Is there anything that you would like to add?
Really amazing event. You really do. So it's definitely worth the trip.
Thank you. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
So thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy the summer, and we'll see you August 21st.
All right. That's a wrap. Thank you.